I would do just about anything for my kids, and I bet you would too. In today's story, there's a mother who keeps searching for answers for her 10-month-old baby, even after many specialists and medications haven't worked. What happens next is so dramatic that her family continues under chiropractic care for many, many years. I'm Jenna Quinton, founder of Adjust Your Media, host of What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of an 8. We are going to get into, in this episode, symptoms and how that's actually a sign of our body working and working well, but also the fact that the best miracles are sometimes the problems that never happen, the things that we don't see. So I'm excited to share with you. Definitely check out the show notes because there is some awesome resources for you there. Today on What Chiropractic Doesn't Cure, Stories of an 8, I have Dr. Peter Kevorkian, and it's exciting because he's actually the president of Life Chiropractic College West. So welcome.
Great to be here, Jenna. Awesome.
Well, I'm so grateful for all that you do, and I think that you offer a unique perspective. So I always ask people to tell us a story. How does chiropractic make somebody's life better?
Well, so when I went to chiropractic school, I learned there, yes, how to take care of the person's spine and their body through chiropractic adjustments. But more importantly, I really understood the power that existed in a healthy spine. The spine is connected to everything else in the body. Have a healthier spine, you're going to have a healthier life. It's really simple. I was in practice maybe 6 months and had an understanding that everybody deserved having a healthy spine. A woman walks into my office with her baby in her arms, very fussy. Baby was about 9 months old, 10 months old. And the mother reports to me that the baby was not sleeping, crying incessantly, not nursing, wasn't peeing, wasn't pooping. I mean, it was a nightmare. You could tell she was disheveled, wasn't sleeping at all. During the baby's first 9, 10 months of life, she had seen 10 different medical physicians and specialists, been put on a litany of medications, and nothing would stop. The drugs would either numb her and just put her out, be like a zombie, or made no effect at all. And the mother didn't want to do the medications. She somebody said, bring your baby to Dr. Peter, Dr. Patty, Dr. Patty, my wife, and see if they can help her. And the woman comes in, she says, you're my last hope. And I said to her then, as I would probably say similar words today, I said, I really don't know if chiropractic care is going to make a difference. What I do know is that when there's interference anywhere between the brain and the body and the body and the brain, the body can't work as well. She said, please do it. And I had some training in adjusting children at that point, although that was, I know, going to be the focus of my work. I put Chelsea on my table. I gently checked her. I mean, the amount of force I used is very, very minimal. Barely touched the very, very top bone in her neck. Saw my indicators change. And the time for me to take Chelsea, adjust her, do my thing, and then hand her back to her mother, she pukes and poops at the same time. Do both of them and falls asleep in her mother's arms. And she looked at me shocked, and I said, well, let's check Chelsea again tomorrow. Mother comes back the next day, tears in her eyes, and says, thank you for giving me my baby back. Chelsea started peeing and pooping and nursing and doing all the things that a normal 10-month-old little girl would do. I had the joy of taking care of Chelsea, her mom and dad, as well as her two sisters during my 42 years of practice. And I've been able to take care of the two of the women are married, got to take care of their babies. And it showed me the power of what happens when you can take pressure off of the nervous system. And Jenna, that was a miracle that we saw. We saw the miracle of life doing what life is capable of doing. Take away the interference. Nature says, oh, we don't need this stuff. Cleans out the body and starts on a new trajectory. I really feel the real miracles are the miracles of the problems that resolve that we never see. The problems that never become symptomatic. The asthmatic issues or cancers that don't develop. Because the healthier body is a healthier life. And if anything that I feel as though I want to contribute is not that chiropractic is a natural means of getting over conditions, as much as it is the human body was designed to be healthy and not just free of symptoms and disease, but functioning optimally, adapting to the world, continually organizing itself in a higher and higher level, being able to create more, do more, perform better on every level, physiologically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. All of those aspects of us can be optimized. And that concept, even though there's a lot more involved to life than chiropractic care, but that idea is what the world needs more than ever. We live in a world that is so pathogenically focused. We're so focused on diseases and viruses and conditions and problems, and we seek to treat those conditions through traditional means or through natural means. But that, in my mind, is such a small part of the human potential that can be expressed when you nurture and support the body to optimize its well-being and functionality. And if anything that got personified during the whole COVID era, we spent so much money, effort, energy, emotion on trying to handle a virus and put virtually no energy, no resources towards improving the health and well-being of people, regardless of how you wanted to do that. And viruses have been on this planet since before humanity. Our job isn't to try to rid or avoid viruses as much as it is to find symbiosis with the world. So that really is my life mission, is to try to optimize well-being, functionality. My practice was centered on that. We took care of families, literally took care of people from the day they were born till the day they died. My youngest patient was 2 hours old, and my oldest patient was 102.
Wow. Yeah. I love all of that. I especially love the perspective that you give. I think sometimes when we have this more pathogen focused perspective, we would see, okay, a baby immediately puking and pooping as a bad thing. And so to have this perspective of this is the body returning to function is a new perspective for a lot
Well,
of young parents.
I'm going to propose that every symptom that occurs happens out of intelligent processes. If there's a toxin in the body, if you ingested a toxin right now, you ate something that was poisonous, you want your body to throw up. The process of throwing up is not a sickness. That's a process of the body reacting, responding to what needs to happen. If a particle gets into your nose that could be potentially irritating or damaging to you, you sneeze. The sneeze is not a problem. That your body wanting to get rid of stuff that it doesn't want in there anymore. Every time that we have a bowel movement, this body ridding itself of stuff that it doesn't want in there. So those are normal physiological. Fever is the elevation of the temperature of the body. That in and of itself is not a pathology. But lots of times when a virus or bacterium comes in the body and starts proliferating, the body says, ooh, this is something that's less than optimal for me. It
Yes.
raises temperature. It knows that there's a very narrow range at which bacteria and viruses can proliferate. So just raising the temperature slows down the ability of the pathogen to grow, but it also allows chemical reactions in the body to occur quicker. It also redirects our energy. We feel tired. We need to lay down so that our body can use its resources to do what it needs to adapt that thing, adapt to whatever's coming to the body. That isn't sickness. That's
Yeah.
health. It's the body working as it's designed to. I'm going to define sickness as when the body is doing something wrong. Sickness is that which is truly a pathology where you're saying the body is wrong and it's doing that. Most of the things that happen, the body is absolutely right. It's doing it out of intelligent design to strive to adapt to the environment.
Yes. So a great example of this too is mucus, where we think like, a mom comes in with a baby that's all stuffy. My children have snotty noses. This week I got really congested and lymph nodes were swollen. And yes, seeing those as, oh, my body is responding so well to this
Mm-hmm.
to make mucus, and then taking the appropriate courses of action of what you're saying to support my body to say, okay, lymph nodes, then some gentle movement would be great. A lot of good water would be great. Anything that going to the sauna and raising my temperature in short spurts to help support my body in this process is such a different perspective than this. Okay, I must have gotten a germ, attack the germ. Like our body is already intelligently doing that, and we have these symptoms that prove our body is intelligently doing that.
The symptoms are in response to the body doing what it needs to do based upon what's coming into it. And to suppress it, a number of things are happening. One, your symptom may go away. You may be able to go back to work or back to school quicker by doing all sorts of different things to suppress the virus and try to kill the virus at a cost. You can change the whole body chemistry and things of that sort. But I also believe that it's a learning process. The
Mm.
body is always taking every experience and growing and learning from that experience. If a child's learning how to walk, if every time they falter, you kick them, they'd never learn how to walk. Uh,
Right.
you know, every time the body has a symptom, if you suppress the symptom, the immune system of the body just doesn't learn. It's just in perspective. We tend to look at our bodies as this machine that's just there for us to do what we needed to do rather than viewing it as this amazing device, not device, but life form that's constantly adapting and changing to the world. We are in our bodies, with our bodies, of our bodies, all integrated together. And it's not that things happen to us as much as it's an experience that we're having that allows that body to be better and healthier and function better into the world. Every experience is happening out of an intelligent design.
Yes. Well, and I want to go back to what you said about the baby in your story that had seen so many medical doctors and specialists. And, you said that we can suppress those symptoms at a cost. And the cost that that family was seeing was the medication was turning their baby into a zombie or not having an effect.
Mhm.
And, I think that as moms, as parents, we see that spark of life in a healthy baby's eyes, where even people around are like, oh, they're so awake, or they're so alert, or they're like, your baby is really engaged. It actually looks like they're listening to this conversation. And it's, yes, of course they are. So I love that those parents were so willing to keep looking to find options to get their baby back instead of just, suppressing and living with that cost.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's an important thing. I think too that the profession of chiropractic, I think some people don't quite understand. And since you're in education, you're such a perfect person to talk about it. What sets chiropractors apart from other professions in healthcare?
Well, that perspective that we're creating a healthier body. I view my responsibility in this role is not just to graduate chiropractors that are competent in being able to adjust their patients or take care of their patients, but actually become leaders in the healthcare community of a new paradigm. The healthcare system, I don't think it's news to anybody. The healthcare system in the United States, in the world, is really dysfunctional right now. People don't even know what to believe. Costs are escalating. We have more chronic disease and more health issues than ever before. We need a shift. We need a change. And I believe that chiropractors, and particularly chiropractors focused at building health, well-being, and vitality, is really the direction of focus of where we need to bring people. Having said that, all chiropractors, doctors that are going to be in the community, need to be conscious of, aware of the needs of our society. They need to be competent in being able to be in a world where people are looking for answers to their health problems. So they need to be competent in the more traditional means of diagnosis and understanding pathologies. But we really need to empower these new leaders in healthcare of how to clearly support people and coach people to living healthier, more vital and vibrant lives. So that's really my focus in this role now, is to ensure that the educational process prepares the next leaders of the healthcare system.
I think that's amazing because, yeah, I don't think that that's always clearly understood. I think, too, I have a teenager, I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I see a lot of families as we start to navigate what do our kids want to do in this world. And I think there's a growing number of parents who want to prepare their children beyond just, well, you get a degree, a 4-year degree, and then you get a job. We're wanting to raise leaders. I see a generation of parents that are wanting to raise leaders. What do you say when you have a young person who is considering a profession path of becoming a chiropractor?
Well, when somebody is interested in becoming a chiropractor, then
Yes.
you couldn't be doing a better job in the world. I mean, there's so many answers to that question. First, you're going to be the leader in healthcare in your community if you want to be. But you can have the type of job that you want to have. You want to have your own practice and be your own boss, you can do that. You want to have multiple clinics, you can do that. You want to work for a franchise, you can do that. You want to work with other caregivers, you can do that. You can be as small or as big as you want to. Get to have the lifestyle that you want, make a very good living. You can be part of the system or outside the system. By that, I mean, virtually every insurance company and third party payer covers some chiropractic services. So you can be part of that system or you can step away from it and live outside the system, which is what I chose to do. We had a practice that made chiropractic care very affordable for people to use chiropractic care as part of their general health and well being throughout their lifetime. And it was cheaper for them to utilize my financial plans than to engage in insurance because I was looking for a long term. I wanted people to use chiropractic care as part of their general health and well being throughout their life, so they got checked regularly. That the family could come, and it was an affordable fee for a family to be able to do that.
Yes.
That's not the vibe for all people wanting to do it, but the great thing about the profession is you got your hands, you got your knowledge, you got your heart. You can make magic happen in people's lives.
Well, I think it is exceptional too that after 4 decades, over 4 decades of doing something, you still love it this much. You're
Absolutely.
still encouraging people to do it. There's a lot of people who, get burned out and jaded about what they do. So the fact that you, one, were able to have a business that endures 40 years is exceptional in our world. And then that you did it in a way that felt aligned for you and made it affordable for your community. And it still was a profitable business that endured 40 years.
And it's continuing beyond me now. My associates have taken over the practice and
Awesome.
coordinate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that really is encouraging, especially like you said, you have your hands, your knowledge, your heart, you always take that with you.
Mhm.
But then that you still engage in the profession in so many ways. There's the saying success leaves clues. I'm not sure if who originally said it first, if it was Dr. Sid Williams or someone else, but I think that for people who are looking at chiropractic, are there pediatricians that love their job so much that they would do it for 40 years and continue. My husband's a firefighter. He loves being a firefighter, but would he be able to do it for 40 years and still love it? The jury's out. Jury's out.
Most guys, after 40 years of practice, Jenna, are looking for a way to lie on the beach and retire. I decided to start a new career. So and
Yeah.
I'm a little crazy. So, but yes, I do love my profession. My wife loves my profession, our profession.
Mm.
It's a huge gift, and it's great to be able to give back this way.
Well, wonderful. I will put in the show notes, I'm going to put a link to where people can find a pediatric chiropractor near them with the ICPA. Are there other resources that you would point people to? I will also put the Life West link as well so people can find out more information there. Is there anything else that you would add?
I didn't mention anything about the ICPA, the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. I've been on their board for about 30 years. I taught for them for many, many years while I was a practice. I just stepped away from that. But it is the best resource for families and parents to be able to support kids in this lifestyle of building health,
Yes.
well-being, vitality. So the ICPA number 4kids.com is their website. And so yes, great, great, great resource for finding family chiropractors in a person's area, as well as it has a tremendous amount of resources available to parents. And lifewest.edu, that's my home right now. That's where I'm working. Absolutely the best place to go to chiropractic school. We're creating the most amazing student experience, competent, compassionate caregivers. We have two campuses, one in the Bay Area in California and one in Omaha, Nebraska, or just outside of Omaha. So check us out. If you have any questions, they can email me directly.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing all of this today and for all you do for chiropractic and for families.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Have an amazing day.